Now from 12 Sports, this is the Wendy's Friday Night Blitz.
Welcome into the Wendy's Friday Night Blitz. We've got a big weekend ahead with all new champions set to be crowned. That includes Division I, where Bishop Hendricken fell short last season for just the second time in 13 years. Sam Knox has more on the Hawks matchup with North Kingstown. The Skippers fresh off a dominant win over reigning champion LaSalle.
For the first time since 2019, the Super Bowl won't include both Bishop Hendricken and LaSalle. The Hawks make their return, but it's North Kingstown making the big game. The last time they did that, 1993.
All offseason, we were preaching we don't want to just be the best public school in the state, we want to be the best school in the state. So it feels good that we made it there, and now we have an opportunity to prove that.
It's an experience of a lifetime. You know, I told these kids I played here 20-something years ago, and it was my dream to be able to play in the Super Bowl, and unfortunately it didn't happen. And now these kids get to, and I get to be their coach. I get to be the guy to lead them.
As for Hendricken, this will be the 14th consecutive state title game that the Hawks have been a part of, coming off a loss last year to LaSalle.
I think a lot of us have a bitter taste left in our mouths, and we just all love to have the opportunity to get rid of that and to end up on top.
I say to our kids and coaches all the time, we've accomplished a lot just getting here, and there's, 36 or 37 other teams in Rhode Island that wish they could be here. So I think for us in NK, you just live in the moment and put your best foot forward.
All of our Division I matchups this year have all been within, I think, 10. So we just always keep finding a way to pull it out, and this team's really come together as one. I really love it.
And it should be a great game. Noon kickoff on Sunday at Cranston Stadium for all the marbles. In studio, Sam Knox, 12 Sports.
Thanks, Sam. The state title game is the grand finale, but the action starts tomorrow with a triple header of championships. In Division II, 10-0 Cumberland is ground and pound machine. They'll line up and play smash mouth and will dare you to stop it. No one has been able to slow down this freight train yet. 9-1 Barrington will be up for the challenge. This team is tough, has grit, and won't be intimidated by the Clippers. Both teams are excited and ready for the game.
Everything I've ever wanted, I've been working for this since I was a freshman, and now that the opportunity is here, I don't want to let it slip. So we're gonna do everything we can, leave it all on the field, and it would just be amazing to bring one back to this town.
The biggest thing about this team is there's no individuals on this team. Everyone's got a job, and everyone's equally important to the team as possible. So, however we get a win's a win. It's whatever makes the ball roll, whatever makes the team go.
Like we've done all year, we have to play good defense. Cumberland's offense is a big, strong, run-orientated type team, and we got to be able to play defense, stop the run, and hopefully get them off the field because they chew up a lot of clock. So we got to make sure that we can get them off the field and get our offense on the field.
In Division III, it's Middletown coming off a walk-off touchdown against Johnston to advance to the state title. The Islanders are 9-1 on the season, with their only loss coming against Classical. Other than that, they've been perfect and looking to avenge last year's loss in the title game. On the other side, West Warwick is 7-2, with its only losses coming against Moses Brown and Cranston West. The Wizards coming off a win over Lincoln. Both teams ready to roll tomorrow.
We came out, we've been getting better every single week, and we lost our center, and they were trying to exploit that, but it doesn't matter. We got ballers on this team, all 11, actually all 40 of them. We got all ballers.
I think we have a fantastic fan base, one of the best, really loud, raucous crowd, so to speak, sometimes a little overboard, but they support us, and they have a great relationship with the students in school. The energy in school, from what I'm told from the admins, is just fantastic.
Last year we thought we had it all handed to us. This year we know we got to work for it. We got a lot of tough teams, but we got to be a tougher team. We got to want it more.
Just play with some tenacity and never giving up, never quitting, continuing to play football. No matter what happens, good or bad on the football field, just playing the next play. And we've been able to do that, and we've been able to come back from some games and win some big ones.
And finally, in Division IV, it's undefeated Davies taking on North Providence. 9-0 Davies is led by quarterback Daniel Rose. He's electric and can wreck a game if you do not contain him. For North Providence, it is more of a group effort. The Cougars are 6-3 on the year. A year full of ups and downs, but a year that saw this team grow and persevere. North Providence hasn't won a state championship since 2013, but this team believes they can get it done.
one of the biggest things about our team is, we have a very strong locker room. A lot of adversity we've dealt with this year, from the start of the season to now, 3-0 start, then we go 3 straight losses, and then now 3 straight wins again. And one of the things is it's the togetherness and how we all play together as a team.
We just need to stay disciplined, stay focused, and play our game. Just can't let any of the outside noise get to us and just play our game. We know what we can do, we know what we can show, and we just need to go out and do it.
We just stayed together those moments we was down, but we never quit, and we just kept going and just kept winning games, and now we're here going to the Super Bowl.
Still to come on the Blitz, Eric Rube is joining the show, and we're going to break down this weekend's matchups, starting with D1 and D2 when we come back.
The Wendy's Friday Night Blitz continues on WPRI 12.
Welcome back to the Blitz. Eric Rube in studio. And Rube, we got to break down these championships. Big weekend ahead in Rhode Island high school football. And we start at the top with Bishop Hendricken and North Kingstown. A little bit of a surprise. A lot of us expected, as it usually is, Hendricken and LaSalle, but it is North Kingstown competing for a championship. So we'll start with them. What can they do to get a win and beat Hendricken?
For North Kingstown to win, the key is going to be kind of what they've been keying on all year, stopping the run. The Skippers really need to find a way to slow down Hendricken's run game. There's no secret to what the Hawks are going to do. They're going to pound the ball with Oscar Weah. They're going to pound the ball with Ron J. Francis, and they're going to leave it up to NK to figure out a way to stop it.
On the Hendricken side, just got to do what they do?
Yeah, the Hawks in these big games play their best football. We've seen it year after year after year. The one year they didn't win a Super Bowl was last season when they played a team that was, from top to bottom, better than they were. They needed to play perfect last year. They didn't quite do that, and they lost. This year, if they play their normal game, they're going to end this with a victory.
How much do you think that plays into the motivation for the Hawks, the fact that they did fall short last year?
That is going to be what Keith Croft is preaching all week. I mean, every year he looks for some motivational tactic, some reason for the Hawks to say, hey, this is why people don't believe in you. He's going to be pointing to last year's loss in the Super Bowl as to why people think Hendricken can't win this year, even though most of us don't believe it.
And if North Kingstown does come away with the win, typically it goes between Hendricken and LaSalle every year, mostly Hendricken over the past decade or so. What would that mean for a program like the Skippers?
This would be perhaps the most monumental win in Rhode Island high school football history, at least in the last 30, 40 years. Last time a public school beat a private school in the state championship was East Providence over Hendricken in 2006. And it's been a while. This is for all those schools that say we can't compete with the privates. You constantly hear that. North Kingstown's never believed it. They've shown that they can. Not only can they compete with them, they can beat them. And to get a win here would only take that a step further.
All right, moving down to Division II, Cumberland and Barrington. Early predictions on this one. Both teams really dominated their semifinal matchup, so it should be a good game.
Both offenses have been great this year, and everyone sees the numbers. That's what we show on the Friday Night Blitz every week. But defense is going to decide this football game. Both teams tremendous on the defensive end. Barrington has been great all year, even though everyone's been focusing on Alex McClellan and what he's done with the offense. For Cumberland, their defense has sneaky been maybe the best in D2. They can stop the run. They've done a great job against the pass, and I think that's going to be what can kind of give them a little separation over the Eagles.
And we just talked about the experience of Bishop Hendricken. What about the experience of Sandy Gorham? How does that play a role here?
It's the one thing you can't factor. Now, Josh Liam has been a coach. He's one of the longest running coaches in the state right now. I think he's been there for 15 years plus. Sandy's been coaching since the 70s. He knows everything there is about the game of high school football. He is going to figure something out, something that Barrington can do that they can take advantage of the Clippers. And that's where that chess game is going to be really fun to watch.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Rube is coming back to break down D3 and D4.
The Wendy's Friday Night Blitz continues on WPRI 12.
All right, moving back down to Division III, we've got Middletown and we've got West Warwick. You made a bold prediction here on the Friday Night Blitz saying that you have Middletown taking this home, and that was back when they beat Moses Brown. So do you still feel that way?
Well, you can't take guarantees back. I thought Middletown was going to win the Super Bowl that night. I thought those were the two best teams in Division III. They almost did not win last week. That was a tough game against Johnston, but in that game, we saw what kind of football team Middletown is. Yes, they have offensive players and they have weapons, but defense is a game changer for them. They slowed down Craddock. They only let him get in the end zone twice, which is a win for them. Last week, they took a Johnston offense that's been one of the best in D3 all year, and they completely turned it down. This is what is going to win Middletown the game.
And on the West Warwick side, what do they have to do if they even want a chance at beating Middletown?
A couple weeks ago, I thought West Warwick was done. They got pounded by Moses Brown. Their run game looked very much in trouble. All of a sudden, they've decided, hey, let's give the ball to James Branch. He's our best player. Let's see what happens. All that's happened is wins. They are starting to play good, tough football, and they're winning tight games. West Pennington's no fool. We're going to see a lot of James Branch in this game, and he's going to let his best player try to win the game for him.
All right, and finally, we wrap up with Division 4. We've got Davies and North Providence. You think this is Davies? Their game to lose?
I think Davies is clearly the favorite going in. I had Exeter West Greenwich picked at the start of the year. North Providence's win last week showed a lot. The last 3 weeks after their loss to Juanita Sanchez, they followed it with 3 pretty impressive performances. And I think the Cougars are doing what they were at the start of the season. They're winning up front. Mike Allard has become a terrific back, and he's really carrying the offense. They're going to try to take this game, extend possessions, first downs, move the chains, and finish those drives. That's their secret to success on offense. On defense, they have one job. Stop Daniel Rose. Don't let him pop 70 yards. Easier said than done.
That's going to do it for this edition of The Blitz with Eric Rube. More of The Blitz continues after this. All right, before we go, let's take a look at the schedule for the weekend. All games held at Cranston Stadium. The D1 game is on Sunday, and then a triple header tomorrow, D2, D3, and D4. Enjoy the games.